Welcome to The World According to Low, the podcast where life, career, and culture converge in captivating ways. Hosted by visionary cinematographer and documentary creator Aloysius Ballard. Each episode takes you behind the scenes of the media world, offering a glimpse into the cultural moments that shape our times. The World According to Low is your ticket to seeing life through Low's lens, where every moment is an opportunity to discover something extraordinary. Let's dive in.
Yo, what's good? Stay there, right, yeah. Hey, come on. It's the world according to Low. So let's sit and grow. It's gonna be a good show. I love that groove, y'all. Yo, what's good? It's your boy Low, man. We're back for another episode, man. Thank y'all for pulling up with your boy, man. We in the building. You could be anywhere in the world right now, man, but you chose to be with the kid, and I do not take it lightly. I hope y'all are having a great week, man. I am on a high. I just wrapped a great conference, but I am mad tired, and man, we got so much to talk about today. We're going to get into it since our last pod, but I'm not going to trip, man. We're going to get into some good stuff today. We're going to talk about my attending NAB for the first time this weekend and some of that stuff. But before we get there, let me go ahead and introduce myself to those of you who may not know who I am and may be pulling up for the first time. So my name is Aloysius Ballard. I am a Docu-style photographer and videographer and creative consultant. And what I do is simply tell authentic stories that help elevate my clients and their brands to just be able to tell authentic stories in a way that moves their audience to a place that they get involved and do something in action or sort. So if you have a brand that you want people to know either what you're doing, why they should be investing in your product, why they should care about what your mission is and the work you're doing, some of those things and all of those things, then, you know, what I do in that space is definitely something you want to check out. But I wear a lot of hats. I'm a producer. And when I say producer, I mean like taking something from an idea to a functioning, tangible result and execution. I've been doing that for years. I've been in this industry a long time, and thanks be to God for all of my many gifts and, you know, just all the things I've been afforded to do in this life. But anyway, I'm not here to toot my own horn. I'm here to have a conversation. You are listening to The World According to Low. And what that means is you get a little bit of my world, things that influence it, that grab my attention, experiences that I have along the way. I have some great guests coming, some great interviews I'm lining up for you guys, people who are really out here moving and shaking in this industry and making a good impact and difference in the world. I'm still working on the Game Changers documentary. We kind of hit a stalemate right now because we got to get a lot of scheduling done with that, but things are moving forward in other ways as well. But today we're going to get into it. I want to start the pod by recapping last pod or some of the last content that I've created. One was I recently dropped a video talking about going viral versus changing or shifting the culture. And then one of the primary examples we talked about was a guy that has literally taking the internet over from his morning routine. If you missed out, the good brother Ashton Hall created a real TikTok, what have you, piece of content where he is showing time by time stamps what his morning routine looks like. And he starts at like 4 a.m, allegedly, where he's up. He's doing that. He has some lady that works for him who's like handing him things and his clothes, his garments, his Saratoga water and all these things. And he uses the water to like brush his teeth. He uses water to drink. He uses this Saratoga water literally for anything you can imagine when it comes to needing water. He uses that brand, which is another video and conversation. The people, I've seen more people now buy Saratoga water based off of this viral video. People are dissecting this man's content and they are spoofing it. They're doing all kinds of things. They're using it as a flex, as an attention grabber. And I'm sure Saratoga is very pleased with the free publicity, or maybe not free. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm not pocket watching, you dig? But I was sharing about Ashton's story about how to really become a culture shift, you have to be able to withstand scrutiny and people making fun of you, like literally. Is something that most people cannot withstand. A lot of people have a problem with it, but this man, and like so many others, if you can block out the noise and just know you're doing something that is going to impact culture, you're going to reap a reward. You're going to get a lot of eyes on you. You're going to probably get some brands reaching out. You're going to probably get a lot of things, opportunities that will present themselves. And sometimes that's what you need and want. But, I wanted to talk about that because it's been a week now since the last time we taped that. This man has collaborated with the biggest content creator on the planet, Mr. Beast. He got Mr. Beast's attention. And if you know, Mr. Beast is notorious, I call him Jimmy, for going viral. He creates viral moments. Matter of fact, another tidbit I learned recently from Mr. Beast was that he was saying, if you want to go viral on Facebook, and this is a gem, I need to make sure, where is my little, let's look at this. I won't worry about it. But, and I need somebody, hey, listen, if you are out there listening and you have good podcast sound effects, shoot your boy a message. Message me, okay? I need some good sound effects for my pod. But Mr. Beast made a great gem drop when he discussed that going viral on Facebook is to make content with no talking, okay? Just put the words up. The reason being, and this really made so much sense when he said it out loud, was that most of the people who ingest content on Facebook do not speak English. I'm going to say that again. Most of the people who ingest content on Facebook do not speak English. So when we speak English, we're isolating our content from being ingested from so many other people. He says, if you notice his stuff, you will see, oh, my bad, y'all. If you notice his content, you will see that he doesn't speak. However, he will put words up or emojis or things that will allow people to see the progress of what he's doing without having to have an interpreter. So that is one tip that he uses, and he consistently goes viral because of that. Anyway, that's a lesson that, once again, if you just looking to go viral, go check that episode out. Or if you want to be a lasting, impacting person and shift culture like Ashton is doing, you can actually become a viral moment that will be culture shifting. So that is, all of that is in there. What else are we talking about today? So, hold on, y'all. One of the things I recently saw this week was that I tuned into the Breakfast Club interview. No, we're not talking about the drama this week. But I did tune into the Breakfast Club to watch their interview with, man, when I tell you this, and I want to say this to make sure my wife don't come in here and get ham on me. I had the biggest crush as a kid on Phylicia Rashad. And boy, I mean, this Phylicia Rashad is a definition of what a woman is if you grew up in that time. Like, seeing her, and you know what? I don't think my wife will get mad because truthfully, I think Phylicia Rashad is the reason I fell in love with a strong woman besides my mother. My mom is a strong woman also. She's a great example. I'm saying outside of my house influence, right? I watched the Cosby Show. This woman just carried herself with so much like aura, man. Like, Phylicia Rashad was like, she wore she never was like dressing skimpy. It was none of that. But there was just this appeal, man. Like, you just liked her. She was just like, man, even as a young guy, like a young man, young kid, like, her aura was just, bro, she just captivated you. Like, she held her ground. There was times where she let Cliff, of course, be Cliff. And Dr. Huxtable was, he was a doctor. He did his thing. But then she would remind him too, like, I'm an attorney. I'm bad too. Like it was just like she just held this vibe, man, that you couldn't ignore. Like, bruh. And then she had these little looks she would do, and like it was like, man, you just, bruh, Kenny, all like, bruh, everybody that came through that house that wasn't related to her, just, man, they would tell Cliff like, hey, bro, like, no disrespect, but like, man, your wife, dog. You know what I mean? And growing up, like I said, she really was like the epitome of a great definition of a woman that you would not mind being with in real life. And, I love it. But it breaks my heart because I look now where you see her still in real life being Claire Huxtable. It wasn't until I got older that I understood, man, the character of Claire Huxtable was actually Phylicia Rashad in real life. And the two of the young ladies there, Lauren LaRosa and Jess Hilarious, had just gotten, like, they had just had that falling out where, we talked about the viral moment of them just airing out their laundry in front of each other and kind of going at each other with this back and forth spat. And she just kind of like got the room together. Charlamagne was trying to make it funny, and she wasn't, like, she was really on that time. Like, nah, this ain't joking. Like, we need to carry ourselves with some doggone grace, some elegance, some poise. Like, when the last time you heard a person on this earth use the word poise? You don't hear that word every day. You got to know something. You got to have been through like etiquette school or class or something. Like, poise is a word you are educated in. Like, ain't nobody just sitting around talking about poise. Like, Big Mama and them would tell you like, hey, you need to know how to act. That's what we got. That was poise and etiquette in most black families. It was like, hey, you need to know how to act when you leave this house. Don't be out here and embarrassing us and embarrassing the family and your mom and them by like just acting in every kind of way. That's what we got, right? But Phylicia Rashad, man, she just, I love like the elders that can get you together and you don't even realize they getting you together. Like they ironing your clothes with them still on and you don't even know. You know what I'm saying? And she cleaned that room up. She was telling them like, man, we don't do that. And then she goes into like how it disappoints her to a fault a little bit where she's seeing all the nudity and the nakedness amongst our people, our culture, amongst like college campuses where the young ladies are half dressed. They got their skin all out in places that should be deemed private and only for those who have earned the right or the ability to see them. And boy, you would think that people would have like respected Auntie. You know, she was in Black Panther, man. You know, wasn't she in Black Panther? No, I'm sorry, that was the other Auntie, Angela Bassett. But they both carry the same aura. Don't y'all be in the comments kicking my back end. Look, they carry the same light. And man, they were in the comments kicking Phylicia Rashad back in. I'm talking like in a way I couldn't keep reading. I was like, bro, y'all not finna do Claire Huxtable like this. You know what she did, bro? You know what she is to the culture? Have we gotten to the point as a people where we don't even respect the elders at all no more? Like, come on, cuz. Like, what are we talking about? Maybe I am getting to the age where, you know, I'm the older dynamic. Because, like, man, respect is not something a lot of people give today, man. You know, I'm trying to figure out why are people so quick to dismiss the wisdom from people who have lived. And I'm talking like lived through some things, man. And then I wonder, somebody would say, you know, well, maybe if a man said it. And this is not me, man. I don't want no smoke with y'all, man. I'm just telling y'all some of the things I was saying. Well, if the fathers, if they daddies told them, and I will agree, my daughter probably gets tired of me saying this more than she would like, but I am in my daughter's ear about, you don't go over there walking around with booty shorts. What you do in this house, you're safe in here, you know. But we're not going to be walking around protruding all of our goodies. And some people will say, hey, man, you know, you should be able to have, girls should be able to have the freedom, young ladies should be able to have the freedom to exploit their bodies. Now, I'm going to tell you this, majority of men will never complain about a woman, especially if they find her attractive, being somewhat exposed, right? A lot of them will often take the pleasure of her presenting it with no cost to them. I ain't had to buy her dinner. I ain't have to have a conversation. I got to see what them things look like. Just look, she put them out there. You walking around see-through. They know what everything looked like. Now there's no imagination. They just know. And I remember having a conversation recently where we were talking, and from a man's standpoint, we were like, some of the young brothers was telling me like, hey bro, it's crazy out here. Like, you can't even really kick it because like everything is hypersexualized. And then you get afraid of being targeted or being seen as some type of perv if you looking too much. So it's like She can be half naked, but if I get caught looking too long, then they like, you a weirdo and all these things. So they say a lot of times they try to avoid it. Now, I don't understand, and I'm trying to say this in a way where I don't have time for smoke and people being in here going crazy. If you walk a hot piping plate of cooked, smelling good food into a room full of hungry people, but tell them they cannot, don't look at this plate, don't smell this plate, definitely don't you try to eat this plate, or don't eat the plate or nothing on it. I don't care how hungry you are. And you just sit it there. And some of these people, their appetite gets so, maybe they should all leave. That's what most people will say. Well, just leave if you can't deal with it. But why present it if it's not to be eaten, is what somebody else's argument could be. We live in a culture now where it's like everybody wants everybody to be in self-control, when we really have never had a culture of self-control. Like, think about what I just said. Everybody wants to expect and want people to live with self-control, when we live in a culture where most people have never had self-control. That probably went over a lot of y'all heads, but it's the truth. Let's cuddle, but don't try nothing. Like even the nature of man and animals. Like we see TikToks and videos of people going to these zoos, sticking their arm in these cages, and then when the animals react and do certain things in their nature, people say, "Oh, you need to kill the bear, or shoot the lion, or they need to put them down. They're wild animals." Maybe let's not put ourselves in position to be, come on, man, like common sense it ain't so common no more. I'm gonna get off this because I'm not trying to be canceled. I'm just using some logic. I'm using some practical, I don't know. I just want to let's move on. Let's move on. But the bigger conversation for me is, why is grace and poise being rejected as if it's an attack versus it being something that is an asset? You know, I said I'm getting off of this, but I got to close this out. In the nature of most men, and I say this because I've had a lot of conversation with men. I've had a lot of conversations around hyper masculine men. And for the most part, even the highest masculine man will say that they respect a woman who can leave something to the imagination. Because just like lions in their pride, men, and it is in a man's nature to be territorial of the thing that he bonds with. I'm not going to say that it's his, because I don't want y'all saying I'm objectifying women to be an object. Nobody owns nobody. The fact that we choose to bond together and partner together becomes what a man's nature is seemingly, willingly wanting to protect. That is it on that. Okay. Now, moving on. I might just need to edit this. I might need to edit that whole segment out. I don't know if I landed that the way I want to, and I don't know if it's worth the risk. Y'all tell me in the comments. I'm gonna leave it in. I'm a man up. I'm gonna leave it in because I don't think I said anything that should be taken out of context, but man, sometimes everything is. Anywho, I'm going to NAB this weekend for the first time. And if you've attended NAB, comment below. I want to know what your first experience was with NAB. And if you do not know what NAB is, it's a National Association for Broadcasters. So if you do anything like live streaming, camera work, different things, like there's all the major vendors are there. You got Blackmagic, you got Canon, you got Sony, you got Rode, you got Amaran, like anything lighting, sound, audio, lens, camera bodies, platforms that allow people to stream and do other things, encoders, distribution. You have directors and DPs that do talks. It's a lot of wonderful things that go on within NAB that you can learn. And I will be attending NAB this weekend. So it's going to be a great time. I'm pretty excited. One of the couple things I wanted to talk about, because I thought about this when I am now preparing to go to NAB, was like packing smart. Moving around the airport, man, is so much of a evolving situation. You never really know what you're going to get into. There have been a lot of different situations now concerning flights and just airports and the hustle and bustle involved. And, you know, for me, I was like, I don't want to overpack, but I don't want to leave any essentials at home. So I think like being able to have something that I can share my contact with people very easily. I'm taking my digital business cards. I'm taking a lightweight camera, and I'll probably take my FX3 with a very versatile lens. So probably my 24 to 105, like power bank, so I can charge on the go. I'm definitely taking a comfortable pair of shoes so that I can be okay walking around. And then like one of the things I want to avoid is making my backpack so heavy with gear that it's hard for me to manage that on a day-to-day basis, because we're going to be there from the top of the day pretty much throughout the evening, and I don't want to do that. And then you got to also talk about some security, right? A lot of times when you bring too much gear, it brings a lot of attention to you, and then you got to worry about security, like keeping your gear safe. If you're stopping to do an interview or you're stopping to do content and you got to sit your gear down, you don't want something people can easily just snatch up and now your lens is gone or somebody's got it, because you got to think a lot of the people there know we're there to do content. They know we're there to, create these things and networking, and we have this gear with us. So a lot of people are not always there to do the right thing. And you got to keep that in mind. So, I want to make sure, if you are attending something or if you ever do a major event like this, to make sure you are aware to travel light. Use a low profile backpack, like something that doesn't scream, I got $15,000 worth of gear, and always be aware of your surroundings. I'm trying to go into NAB with the right mindset. It's a great learning and networking opportunity from all of my friends and associates that I know that have attended. So I want to make sure I'm there maximizing that. I want to engage with, industry leaders, because I want to make my presence known and let them know that I am always open to working with others and on great projects, and, just seeing if I can apply some of the things that I'm learning while I'm there. But, you got to be able to balance it all. There's a lot that goes on. And a lot of times we are working these events in a way that we don't always get to necessarily enjoy them. So I want to go as a student and as someone who is looking for new opportunities. And I think it's going to be a great trip. I can't wait to get back. I probably pod from NAB while I'm there and get that to y'all. I'm excited about that. So make sure y'all let me know if that's something y'all would want to see me do, or would you want me to just take that Monday off and circle back the following Monday, which means that we would have a week off the pod. And I know how much that could pain y'all, but I don't mind podding from NAB and telling y'all real time what I have learned, and it'll be at least a couple of days of NAB by then. And share some of that knowledge, share some of the things that I'm coming across, and if my preparation is actually working. I like to tend, a lot of times when I go to events like this, I like to carry something dedicated for photo. I like to carry something dedicated for video. But then in between, if I feel like it is a time for my higher elevated content, that's when I would use like my FX3. So for someone speaking, or I'm getting a little footage of like a lecture or a demonstration, I'll probably more than likely use the FX3. For just vlogging and documenting, I can always use my Osmo 3 and get good content and stuff from there with a low footprint. So that's why I'm ordering an Anchor power bank so I can recharge and do all of those things on the go and be good. So it's pretty exciting. But yeah, I wanted to just share that and share some thoughts with y'all today about where this week has been. I want to close out again with, I just wrapped the Daughters of Faith Women's Conference, hosted by my wife. One of my favorite events to produce. It's always a great time. I love seeing people be encouraged, and helped a lot of small businesses and vendors get some work and some business during a time where a lot of small businesses are struggling and looking to find more work. And I want to thank you guys again too for supporting me, because just like I like to support others, how you support me watching the pod, listening to the pod, keeps me going. I'm grateful. I've had a few opportunities recently to present themselves. Some collaborations are coming. I'm praying that these will lead to things that will allow me to benefit, but also allow me to help impart that same relationship into my community here, which is the Loyalty Crew. Shout out to y'all for the faithful group of people who support your boy. It's not just about me. It's not. It's about us all coming together and growing together. So I just want to say before we get out of here, once again, if you're not subscribed, I would love to have your support. And I pray that these are things that are helping you go and grow. Because there's a lot of people selling y'all stuff online. I want to do more things that are practical, things that help elevate us as a person, but also the skill set. So tell me some things that y'all would want to know. Y'all want to hear me talk about more of what it's like to be in the documentary space, like what tools I use for that, what I find to be useful and impactful in telling these authentic stories, and how I go about that. I don't know what you guys want to learn. Y'all can help me by just comment below, or if not, I'll keep bringing y'all what my world is doing and what I got going on. Shout out to my baby girl. She just made honors college. I'm super excited. My son is going through, he's also an honor student, and we just trying to live life, man. My plant baby's back here doing well. Shout out to Trade Coffee. I got a new review coming in. My package just came. I think this coffee this month is from somewhere up north. a roastery up north. So we're going to get into that. You can find that content on the channel, my YouTube channel. And I am bringing back Creatives and Coffee, which will be another segment where we just kind of talk and enjoy the latest cup or blend of coffee that I'm on. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I love y'all, man. Have a great week.
Thank you for tuning in. I hope today's episode gave you a fresh perspective on the cultural and creative forces shaping our world. If you enjoyed the conversation, make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss out on our latest episodes. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so don't forget to leave a rating and review. Stay connected with us on social media for behind-the-scenes content, updates, and more. Until next time.